The rain had just stopped when the helicopter descended, its blades tearing the gray sky apart as it landed on the rooftop of one of the tallest corporate towers in the city. People stopped. Cars slowed. The entire skyline seemed to hold its breath. Inside that building, a quiet janitor was about to have his life turned upside down by a woman who thought power could buy destiny, and by a secret that would leave her standing in stunned silence. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the idea that no human being should ever be judged by their uniform, please like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to this channel right now. Everyone in Aurelian Tech knew Isabella Crane, CEO at 29, ruthless in meetings, ice cold under pressure, billionaire before 30. Her presence alone made seasoned executives straighten their spines and triple-check their words. She was admired, feared, envied, and deeply lonely. On the same floor where Isabella ruled the company, there worked a man named Noah Walker. He wore the gray uniform of the cleaning staff. No one knew much about him except that he arrived before sunrise, left long after dark, never complained, never asked for anything, and always kept his eyes lowered. He wiped fingerprints off glass walls that held boardroom empires, emptied trash bins full of million-dollar mistakes, and polished floors that reflected power he did not possess. Isabella barely noticed him, until the day she humiliated him in front of everyone. It happened during a charity press event on the rooftop. Investors, reporters, socialites, and executives filled the space. A private helicopter stood waiting. The pilot had fallen ill at the last moment, and Isabella's schedule was collapsing. Her engagement announcement was planned in 3 hours. The press was already whispering. Her mother was threatening to disown her if she didn't arrive on time. She turned, frustrated, scanning the staff. Her eyes landed on Noah pushing his cart of cleaning supplies near the edge of the rooftop. She laughed, not cruelly but dismissively, and said loudly, "You, the janitor! If you can fly this helicopter and get me across the city in 15 minutes, I'll marry you." The rooftop erupted in awkward laughter. Executives smirked. Investors shook their heads. Cameras flashed. Noah froze. He slowly looked up. For the first time, Isabella saw his face clearly. There was no anger in it, no pride, only something steady, calm, and unreadable. Noah parked the cart, removed his gloves, and said quietly that he could do it. The laughter died instantly. Security stepped forward. Someone whispered that this was going too far. Isabella crossed her arms, half amused, half annoyed, assuming this would end in embarrassment for him. But Noah walked to the helicopter. He checked the exterior with the confidence of someone who had done this thousands of times. He climbed inside the cockpit without hesitation. His hands moved across the controls like they belonged there. The engine roared to life, smoother than any pilot they had ever seen. 10 minutes later, they were in the air. The city unfolded beneath them like a map of fate. Isabella sat beside him in stunned silence. She had mocked him, dismissed him, and now her life was literally in his hands. He flew flawlessly. They landed on the opposite side of the city in record time. No cameras, no crowd, only silence and the wind. Isabella stared at him as if seeing a ghost. She demanded to know who he really was. Noah simply smiled and said he had made a promise, and he kept it. That night, the internet exploded. By morning, the world knew the story of the CEO and the janitor who flew the helicopter. But what the world didn't know, what would break Isabella's heart open and rebuild it, was who Noah Walker truly was. Noah had once been one of the youngest decorated helicopter rescue pilots in military history. He had pulled civilians from floods, children from burning buildings, soldiers from battlefields. His name had once filled newspapers, until the mission that changed everything, a classified rescue gone wrong, a crash, lives lost, survivors haunted. Noah walked away from fame, rank, and fortune. He changed his name. He disappeared into ordinary life, choosing the quiet. work of a janitor where no one expected anything from him and where he could serve without being seen. When Isabella discovered this, the world she believed in collapsed. She had built her empire on titles and status and reputation, and the greatest man she had ever met was the one she had humiliated in front of everyone. Guilt consumed her. She began seeking him out, not as a CEO, but as a human being. She learned his routines. She brought him coffee. She listened to his silence. Slowly, walls fell. Noah never mentioned her promise, but Isabella never forgot it. Weeks passed, then months. They talked about life, regret, fear, dreams buried so deep they almost died. Isabella confessed her loneliness. Noah spoke about loss. Two broken worlds began stitching themselves together. When the board discovered who Noah really was, they pressured Isabella to remove him. Image risk, they said. Corporate reputation. Shareholder anxiety. She refused. Instead, she stood before the entire company and told the story, not of a janitor who flew a helicopter, but of a hero who chose humility. The stock dipped. The headlines exploded. But Isabella did not bend. Then, on the anniversary of the rescue mission that broke Noah's life, Isabella arranged something no one expected. She rented the same model helicopter. She took him back to the sky. Above the city, with the sun breaking through the clouds, she turned to him and said the words that had lived inside her heart for months. Us. She reminded him of his promise. This time there was no laughter, no cameras, no audience, only two souls suspended between earth and sky. Noah did not answer immediately. He closed his eyes, breathed deeply, and finally nodded. They landed as partners. Not CEO and janitor, not billionaire and nobody, but two human beings who had found each other in the wreckage of their lives. Isabella resigned months later. She turned the company into a foundation that trained veterans and gave second chances to the forgotten. Noah returned to the sky, not as a soldier, but as a rescue pilot for disaster zones. They married quietly, no press, no spectacle, only those whose lives they had touched. Years later, a child would ask why their mother kept a janitor's badge framed beside a pilot's wings on the wall. Isabella would smile and say, "Because that's where I met your father." And the world, if it ever learned the full story, would finally understand this truth. Some heroes wear uniforms, some wear suits, and some hold a mop until someone gives them the chance to save the world again. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, comment what it made you feel, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel. Before you go, leave a comment saying, "I believe in second chances," because sometimes believing is what brings the miracle.